Welcome to the International English Language Testing System. Good evening. This is a mock IELTS speaking test conducted by Maulik English Academy. Today, I'm Nafis Omar. Today, I'm your examiner. The examiner ID is 24049 and the examinee ID is 09327. Would you please show me your identification card?
Here it is.
Thank you. Would you please tell me your full name?
My full name is Mishkatul Jana Lono, but you can call me Lono.
Okay, Lono. This speaking test is divided in 3 parts, but before that, I'm going to ask you some personal questions. Where are you from?
I'm from Dhaka, Bangladesh.
What do you do in your free time?
Actually, as I'm a student of class 7, so I don't get too much free time, but when I get free time, most of the time I read storybooks and play with my neighbors.
So, Lono, in part 1, I'm going to ask you some question about clothes. Where do you buy most of your clothes?
Actually, most of the time, I buy clothes from New Market in our city because I saw that the clothes collection is there very good. That's why most of the time I buy clothes from there.
How often do you buy new clothes for yourself?
Most of the time, but actually when there is an event when I got an event, that time I just buy new clothes, and where I'm going to a new place, I also bought new clothes.
How do you decide which clothes to buy?
Actually, this decides always my mother because I have no idea about this, but most of the time I try to decide this by where I am going, how will be the event. By this, I just always decide my clothes.
Have the kinds of clothes you like changed in recent years?
Yes. Actually, a few days ago, I liked to buy frocks, but now I don't like them. I just want to always buy, what can I say, just normal dresses, not frocks and very heavy dresses.
Okay, this is the end of part 1. Let's move on part 2. In this part, I'm going to give you a topic. You have to talk about this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about the topic. Here is your cue card. Here is your paper and pencil. You can make note for your help if you wish. Your time is up.
Okay, the topic was about an interesting discussion I had how I spend my money. So there is a tradition in our country, and in an event it's called Eid. In this event, our elders give us money as a salami. So in last year, I have gathered many money. So I had a discussion with my cousin how I spend this money. So actually, my cousin, I always very free with my cousin, and I told her that how I spend my money. So actually, I discussed this topic because it was my first time um, I'm just spending my own money because always my mother spends money for me and not me. That's why I discussed this with my cousin. So actually, I discussed this with her because she always wanted to know from me that how will I spend my money? Can you please give me some ideas? So that's why I talked with her about this. And I think the result was good because by this she also gets many ideas and it was interesting. As I told you that it was my first time how I spending my money, I told her that I bought many new clothes from it. I also bought some important accessories for me like study books or another things which helps me and also other things. So I also told her that when you will spend your own money it will be another fun, so that's why it was interesting for me.
Okay. This is the end of part 2. Let's move on part 3. In this part, I'm going to ask you some question about money and young people. Why do some parents give their children money to spend each week?
It's a good question. I think actually some parents gives their children money in such a week because by this children will understand how to spend money wisely. That's why I think that they give them money week.
Do you agree that schools should teach children how to manage money?
Can you please say this question again?
Do you agree that schools should teach children how to manage money?
I think it's important because children needs to learn that how they can manage money and earn money because not only family, children also needs to learn this. Like in our curriculum, our teacher also told us that how to earn money, and we are learning it so well. By this, family will be also helped, and they will also can learn in the future for the future.
Do you think it is a good idea for students to earn money while studying?
I think it is. By this, children will also like to earn money, and they will learn that how to earn money wisely and another things also.
Do you think it is true that in today's society money cannot buy happiness?
Actually, it's a very confusing question. Actually, I'm not agree with it because you can see that without money, people suffers in very problems. Like you are sick, but you can't admit in a well hospital because of you don't have money. That's why I think money can buy the happiness.
What disadvantages are there in a society where the gap between rich and poor is very large?
Can you please?
Okay. What disadvantages are there in a society where the gap between rich and poor is very large?
Actually, nowadays there is really a very gap between the rich and poor because technology has um, what can I say? Nowadays there are many kinds of technology we can see, and people most of the time in the office or in other working place, people can do very important or heavy work by technologies. That's why most of the people can't get job right now, and that's why they don't get job and they can't earn money. That's why there is a very big gap between the rich and poor.
Do you think richer countries have a responsibility to help poorer countries?
I think they have. If they help the poor country can also be rich, or maybe they can manage their life.
Okay, this is the end of the speaking test.